everyone! Today I'll be showing you how you can make your own beautiful Deco Mesh wreath for this coming Halloween. So let's get to it. First, you will need a 14-inch wired wreath, a couple of rolls of Halloween ribbon. I got these things at the Dollar Tree, and I also got this orange 6-inch Deco Mesh. I bought this 12-inch by 35 yards black Deco Mesh at Michael's, some Chanel stems, a pair of scissors, and some clothespins too. This wreath has 6 sections, so you will need 3 Chanel stems per section. 2 will be on the second outermost ring, and the third one will be in between the 2 Chanel stems but on the second innermost ring. You will need to do this throughout the whole wreath. I found this is the easiest way to make this Halloween wreath. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the first section, and then I'll show you how it should look like with all the Chanel stems. Okay, so I already finished the first section. Now to do the rest of it. This is how it should look. I'm going to use this Deco Mesh that I bought at Michael's. I got it at 40% off, and I really like the 12-inch size. So grab your Deco Mesh, and you will be needing 18 pieces of Deco Mesh cut at 25 inches each one. I know working with Deco Mesh is pretty difficult, and I'm using a pair of scissors for this, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm almost finished cutting my 18 pieces of Deco Mesh, and now I'm going to show you how to make a cruffle with each one. Grab your Deco Mesh with the curl facing up, and grab your clothespins for this. You will be needing them. So first, grab one end and make about 3 turns going in and secure it with your clothespins. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other side. I'm so sorry if you're not able to see it there, but it's exactly the same that I did on the other side. I'm just doing 3 turns. Okay, so now I'll be holding on to this end, and I'm going to be turning it towards me. Hold the end with your thumbs, and you're going to walk your fingers carefully across to the other end. Okay, so I'm grabbing the middle of this. I'm just going to take off these clothespins, and here is my first cruffle. Isn't that so pretty? Just the way I'm holding it, this is how I'm going to be putting it on the wreath. You can start from anywhere, but just be sure to hold on to the cruffle and give a good couple of twists so it stays secure on the wreath. And here's my first cruffle. I'm going to show you how I'm doing the first section, and then I'm going to continue the same thing throughout the whole wreath. And in each section there should be 3 cruffles. And again, I'm doing 3 turns on the end and holding it in place with the clothespins, and doing the same thing on the other side and carefully walking my fingers across the mesh. It took me a while to get the hang of doing this cruffle, but as you go along, you'll get better with just a little practice. There's my second cruffle, and now to put it on the wreath. I'm making sure that it's nice and tight so that way it stays in place. Okay, so here's the last cruffle that I'm going to be putting on this section. You see how there's really not much to this. It's just a little bit of practice and you'll get the hang of it. I love making these wreaths. I think they really do make such beautiful decor for the home. They are unique and they're also pretty cost effective. I don't think I spent very much to make this. I bought most of the things at the Dollar Tree except for the Deco Mesh that I got at Michael's, and I believe I spent about $6.50 for it, and they did have a discount of 40% off. Originally this Deco Mesh was $10, and I only needed 1 roll of this for the whole wreath. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze this in there and I'm going to be sure to tighten this. This is how your wreath should look when you're first starting it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue this process throughout the whole wreath. Look at how this is coming along. I think this is coming out so pretty. I had to move to my dining table because my workspace was starting to get too crowded for this. Friends, now that I've finished my wreath, I'm going to grab my rolls of ribbon and orange Deco Mesh that I got at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut 6 pieces of each ribbon at about 10 inches, and I'm also going to dovetail the ends. I found the easiest way to cut the ribbon is to just measure it once and just continue to fold over the ribbon as many times as you want, and then just cut the folded parts. I went ahead and I just cut my Deco Mesh at about 10 inches, just enough to give a nice curl. So now that I finished cutting all of my ribbon, I'm going to make 6 arrangements of the ribbons, and I'll be choosing the ribbons randomly to make it look a little more interesting. So here's one little arrangement. I think I should have made this arrangement longer than 10 inches, but oh well. Grab your little ribbon arrangement and pinch it in the middle to put on the wreath. You're going to just put it on the chenille stems, and if you're not going to use the chenille stems anymore, you can just cut them and turn them around to the back so that way they don't poke at you. I'm gonna curl my chenille stems. I'm kind of thinking about it now. I should have gotten some orange color chenille stems or maybe some purple ones. I think that would have given it a little bit more pop of color instead of using these black ones. I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting in all of the ribbons on the wreath. And there you have it. All of the ribbon arrangements are on the wreath. And now I'll be using my orange Deco Mesh. With the orange Deco Mesh, I'm going to make a curl and grab a chenille stem and just tie it on the wired wreath. You can put as many of these to give a pop of color and even use different colors of Halloween, like maybe purple or green, but I'm going to just keep mine simple. I'm only putting in 6 pieces of this Deco Mesh. Okay, so that's one Deco Mesh already tied on there. I'm using the roll from the black Deco Mesh and I'm fluffing up the ribbon just to give it a little bit more volume. I really think I should have just made these arrangements bigger so that they could have stand out more. With the rest of the ribbon that was left over, I made a simple bow and I just used a chenille stem to tie it together. I'm also going to be putting in my bow to the wired wreath using the chenille stems that are on the wreath. You don't have to do it this way. If you prefer, you can always hot glue it instead. Friends, look at how beautiful my Halloween wreath looks. I want to thank you all for watching my tutorial. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Happy Halloween, everyone!